Success is a superpower. Success guarantees you an upper hand in life. Rules and societies are changed for successful people. The entire vibe around you changes when you're successful. Sadly, nobody gives a damn about you if you're a loser. I had been a complete failure for 3 years of my life. Nothing worked out for me. At social gatherings, I started feeling like an outcast because I had nothing exciting to share about myself. I was also treated differently than others. With each passing day, I could literally feel that I was losing trust in myself and trust in my own abilities that I had built over years. And to top it all my failures were public. Not that I cared about anybody's opinion, but every single Tom, Dick, and Harry on the street had their 2 cents to share about my failures. But all of this began to change once I started experiencing success again. The world will constantly keep telling you that running behind success is a very materialistic way to approach your life. It won't give you fulfillment, nor will it bring any happiness. Well, I definitely feel much happier and joyful after having experienced success in my life. For someone who had reached the absolute rock bottom, success for me feels like a rebirth. I now have more autonomy over my life, my happiness, and my decisions. I can provide for my family. Not that my family expected anything from me, as they are all independent in their lives. But for me, making sure that my parents and my sisters live in the utmost comfort, emotionally, mentally, financially, and physically gives me a great sense of fulfillment. I had lost all hope in life after the recent global pandemic. All my carefully curated plans for my life and career were all shattered and crumbled during the global lockdown. Everything felt bleak. Life felt joyless. The only thing I could feel with each passing day was the decline in my motivation, the decline in my drive, the decline in my faith in myself and in my abilities. Years passed sitting idly and doing nothing during this period, until one day I had a life-changing moment of realization. It is a very interesting story ahead, and all thanks to Tom Cruise. Like I mentioned, I had almost reached a vegetative state. I would go to work just to pay my bills, and I would live from paycheck to paycheck. I would keep watching movies and TV shows just to get some dopamine hits. And just like this, one day I decided to watch Tom Cruise's Top Gun Maverick. And before watching it, I just looked up for its reviews on YouTube and came across multiple Tom Cruise interviews promoting the film. One such video discussed how the pandemic, just like other businesses, had completely destroyed the movie industry. Given the lockdowns, films were heavily losing money, and out of no choice, the film executives would release the film directly on various streaming services to recover some money spent on the film. Hollywood was almost finished. By taking this bleak situation into consideration, the studio executives started forcing Tom Cruise to release Top Gun Maverick on streaming platforms. But Tom was adamant. He was determined that his movie is made for big screen and should release only in theaters. All odds were against Tom. Against a massive budget of $170 million, there was no hope for the film to earn even a few $1,000,000 given the lockdowns worldwide. But Tom stood by his decision, and the film was released in theaters globally on the 27th of May 2022. To Hollywood's and to everyone's surprise, proving all odds wrong, the movie became one of the biggest blockbusters. The executives wanted to recover a few $1,000,000 with a direct-to-streaming release, but Tom's optimistic approach to release the film in theaters raked in $1.5 billion for the film at the global box office despite the global lockdowns. Famous Hollywood director Steven Spielberg called Tom Cruise the savior of Hollywood. This one statement from his interview reignited the spark in me to restart my life and career all over again.
We're just going to keep going. We're going to figure it out.
Yeah.
Things happen. It was like, we're just going to figure it out. I'm that kind of person. I'm like, whatever it is, we're just going to figure it out. We're going to do it. It's going to happen. This is going to happen. How? I don't know.
Before this, I kept blaming the pandemic for me becoming a complete failure. And now, to get out of my victim mentality, I constantly kept repeating Tom Cruise's words to myself over and over again. I kept saying, whatever it is, I'm just going to figure it out. Because of repeating these words, as your thoughts decide your actions, I slowly started taking small steps towards my goals. I started forcing myself to work on necessary tasks for just 10 minutes every day, and sometimes those 10 minutes would turn into 2 hours. And on days when I would come across some obstacles or mental barriers, I would remind myself of Tom's statement, and I would focus on my ultimate vision of my desired life. Over time, these small daily wins started reinstilling my faith in myself, and now I can proudly say that I have achieved some of those goals. Success changed my approach towards everything. Success rewired the way my brain works. I started noticing that by executing small daily tasks successfully, I felt like a winner. My stress levels drastically reduced. The feeling of achieving something daily got me into the momentum of getting even more work done. This momentum also made it easier to begin and execute tasks that earlier felt difficult or time consuming. I confidently started taking on bigger tasks without any hesitation or procrastination. In words of my favorite motivational speaker, the great Mr. Brian Tracy,
he said the key to success was to set a goal and then to stay with it until you achieve success in at least one important thing. He said that your subconscious mind will then accept that success experience and store it as a pattern, like a template. And then from then on, your subconscious will drive you and direct you and guide you to repeat the pattern of success in other things that you attempt. Another way of saying it is that nothing succeeds like success.
when I wasn't successful, I would dwell on every single problem that came my way for hours, days, and months together. I would spend a week worrying on a task that would have taken me 10 minutes to complete. But when I started experiencing success again, I got into the get over it attitude. I learned that when I would come across a problem and without overthinking on it, if I immediately got over it as fast as I could, I would soon discover solutions to solve those problems, and I also had more mental space to resolve any other issues I encountered. This helped me in building resilience, and I developed a mindset where problems and setbacks now didn't have any hold over me, because I could easily solve them just by making use of this get over it attitude. When I was a failure, I stopped meeting friends. I stopped attending social gatherings because everybody had tons of achievements in their life to share at these gatherings. Someone had gotten promotion, someone had gotten some award, someone was flexing off their new car, someone was getting married, while I was the one who would just keep quiet at these gatherings because I had nothing to share about myself. And the sad part was that my parents and sisters would notice me being uncomfortable at these gatherings. This heavily affected my confidence. I couldn't talk to anybody confidently. This lack of confidence also reflected in my daily life. I was unable to articulate even simple sentences effectively. I looked lost, aimless, and joyless even in selfies and photos I appeared in. My failures did not just affect my confidence, but it also affected my relationships. I would get angry at petty things. I got into unnecessary fights because failure had a grip over my personality. My thinking was extremely polluted. I could feel that I had become a person with mindset of scarcity. Whereas when I started doing well again in my life, I noticed a shift in my thinking. I started getting along with people. I started feeling abundant again. Success makes you want to be around other successful people. On hanging out with successful people, I understood that even successful people had to face the same roadblocks as the ones who failed, but they circumnavigated those roadblocks as a diversion to reach their goals without getting into a victim mindset or without having a constantly complaining attitude. I learned that a victim mindset or a constantly complaining attitude would take up my entire headspace. I would come up with more excuses and eventually give up. By not complaining and by focusing on solutions, my mind would constantly work towards finding better solutions and getting things done. When you are successful, you become the decision maker of your life. But when you're not, others make decisions for you. It is so powerful to become the sole designer of your life, but it feels extremely oppressed to be unsuccessful and to take directions from other people regarding your life. Now, let's discuss what failure taught me. In these years, success was not my only teacher, but it was also failure that taught me a great deal about myself. At the start of this video, I had said that success is a superpower, which is absolutely true. But I would like to reframe the statement as success is a superpower and failure is the teacher that teaches you to efficiently wield and evolve that superpower. The materialistic achievements or the external validation that you experience with success are extremely necessary and empowering, but they might come and go away with time. On the other hand, failure teaches you lessons and develops your mental skills that help and equip you with enough knowledge and courage to deal with any situation or adversity that life throws at you. If taken positively, failure builds your core foundations that help you bounce back in life. You must always create and rely on systems for yourself. When things are failing, or when they are not going your way, or when they are just stuck. If you experience failure, get into action mode immediately. Failure will make you feel defeated, but taking immediate action will make you feel in control. Take small steps and actions daily. Build on this momentum and keep building until you eventually win. A sailor repairs his ships if it can't sail during a storm. In the same way, when you feel stuck in life, keep refining yourself. Talk to people who are doing or have done the things that you want to do. Because being stuck is an indication in itself from the universe to reinvent yourself so that you get launched into the next chapter of success in your life. I have learned that even when you're experiencing failures, never relate yourself or never find comfort in others who are failing and complaining about it. Maintain your distance from the ones that keep giving excuses. My complaining attitude had almost made me an active member of Reddit groups that would constantly keep making excuses. Being a part of groups like this, both online and offline, or being friends with people like this constantly keeps you in a loser mindset, because the more you spend time within these groups, the more hardwired your excuses become in your mind. You get so consumed within these groups that you end up destroying your own individuality and your abilities to think of ways that will move you towards success. Eventually, loser mindset becomes the core of your personality. In famous words of Gary Vaynerchuk, what people don't understand about complaining is it has zero return on investment. I also learned that people with winner's mindset discuss failures differently. They discuss failures only to learn from each other's experiences and to minimize errors as much as they can. So choose your tribe well. Stay away from the ones who constantly keep cribbing. Because people like this will not only keep making excuses for their own failures, but they will also keep attributing someone else's success to wealthy parents, societal connections, or some compromising physical favors. Yes, these things do keep happening, but eventually, most of these individuals can't retain success for long. Majority of the people have attained astronomical levels of success without any financial backing, without any societal connections, or without giving any physical favors. The majority has become successful because of their grit, determination, consistency, and by believing in themselves and in their vision. So stay away from the complainers and try and be around solution-oriented people. Carefully curate and design your internet algorithm in a way that it motivates you, in a way that it guides you. Consume content that's uplifting. Because sadly, now our phones also control our mindset. Your subconscious mind also designs your life based on the content you consume online. So consciously curate an internet algorithm that would serve you to attain your goals. As the famous saying goes, success has 1,000 fathers, but failure is always an orphan. When I started experiencing success again, many people came out of their graves just to take credit for my wins and to tell me how their advice worked out for me. But I straight away rejected their claims over my success right on their faces. When you're not doing well, nobody comes to your rescue. And no, you can't be mad or entitled about it because nobody owes you anything. Everybody has their own lives to deal with. But just remember the people who stood by you during these difficult times. Failure has taught me that success is fleeting. It has its ups and downs. It always comes and goes. But you can't tie your entire existence and identity to always being successful. Instead, one must always rely on the systems that made them successful in the first place. Honestly, nothing in life is complicated. It is all very straightforward. Have a strong mindset. Develop individualistic and a strong personality. Believe in yourself. Put things into action and see the results. And there are always gonna be multiple ways to reach your goals. All you gotta do is have a flexible approach and focus on the end result you desire. It's that simple. If you stop, failure is certain. But if you keep going, success is certain. So go on and don't stop. So that is it for today. Thank you so much for watching. And if you like this video, then please like, share, and subscribe to this channel.